Hello, this is Brian Koper, and this is my honey extraction video for the University of Florida Master Beekeeper program, the advanced level. Now, I have a colony here that has 2 supers, 2 deeps. I do use queen excluders to keep my queen out of my honey supers. I learned the hard way. So let me get in here into this colony, and what I'm looking for in these supers is frames that are capped out. Now, I do also have a Hive Butler tote here that when I get my frames, I typically will pull them out of the super, put them into the tote. When that's filled, I will just cover up this colony and go up and go through the extraction. So let me go ahead and start checking some frames. Set my outer right there. Now, because these are, honey supers, my queen should not be up here because, like I said, I use queen excluders. So I'm going to start with an outer frame here, and let's slide that in there. That way I'm not covering up you too much. And let's look at some frames. So let's give it a shake. Now, that's a good frame right there. The other side has nothing. I will probably extract that still just to get that honey off of there. And what I do with this is I just put them down in that tote. And it's basically, oh gosh, I get a fall harvest. Oh my. Let me get my brush here. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's beauty. Let's go right in here. Oh, let's just go pretty quick here. Now, I have that brush. You can give them a pretty good shake also, and it'll knock the bees off. I also have bee escapes. I did not have time to put on the bee escapes though. Give it a good shake. My gosh. Give them a little brush, and my gosh, look at that. Oh. I really like that Hive Butler tote because when you get into times like, where there's robbing, pretty much keep the bees off of your frames. Let's get down in there, girls. Get down in there. Oh. 80 degrees and pulling honey supers. It's not my definition of being cool. Okay, cover that up. Oh, this super, yeah. Only time I really use this brush is to do this and just brush them off of those frames like that. Okay, one girl over here. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to take this box off and set it here and cover my colony up for right now so that I can go through this extraction process. So let me leave that box right there and let me grab my hive butler. Oh, and I'm gonna hold you. 10 honey frames. Okay, let me get you propped up over here. All right, well, let me take the rest of this off. All right, now, a little microphone there. Now, I can open up my hive butler, and I've got several tools. So I just recently did some honey also. So I have what's called an uncapping tank here. And, oh boy. Let me get this uncapping tool cleaned off. And these are the tools that I prefer. So you can use this tool here and run straight down the comb. I do not like the crush and strain method where you have a fork. And then I have my extractor over here. Now, what I can do with these frames is take them, and then you can take this tool and just run straight across like that, and then down. And as you see there, you are not destroying all those cells. All you are doing is pulling that top layer off. Now, this is where I use my fork. If any falls off, I'll go like that, and then I can get my fork and just remove that off. And you see here, that is a wonderful frame. So I just do that with each of these. And a little bit more fell off. That's okay. But you see here this frame here, and now I'm going to load them into my extractor. There we go. Let me see if I can't get you tipped just a little bit more. There we go. That's better. Some bees snuck into my building here, so that's the sound that you hear. Fully capped. Love those frames. There's another one here that's really nice. You know, and it's just very important to, at least this is always what I do. I do know people that do the crush and strain. I do not prefer it though, just because you damage all of that comb. and the bees work so hard for it. Straight over, and then, you know, this tool, once you get the hang of it, 2 strips down and it's good. So really, as you see here, you can go at a decent speed. Still got to use caution, just, you know, they put so much time into their work, and for us to just be destructive, I don't feel is just best practice. Now, what I'll do afterwards then with this wax is I'll typically, oh, this looks like this might be a foundationless frame. Didn't realize that I did foundationless. Okay, might not be. Now there's white. I don't know where, that must be a very old frame. Let me do this. I have a hive tool over here to clean this off. I have found that, you know, you do have to clean this off periodically. It's the beauty of this uncapping tank. It's really sped up my operation. You see, you know, if you look at that, I'm shaving just the top off, really not destroying much. And, you know, the benefit there is bees do not have to work as hard. You know, they already work hard enough, and to have us not be good stewards, I just don't think is best practice, but that's just me. My gosh, look at that. That tool just does such an excellent job. Oh. Now, while I'm doing this, I can talk about my supplement program. Typically what I do, and this has just been a rule of thumb ever since I started, I will never harvest from my deep boxes. Never. I only pull from the honey supers, but then I still also, I supplement my colonies. Now, later in the year, like right now, I want them to bulk up on weight. I'm really not worried about comb production. At this point in the season, they should already have a, you know, adequate amount of comb built out throughout the colony. At this point here, at least in Ohio, what we are concerned with right now is the weight going into the winter. Now, typically what I do this time of year is I switch to a 2-to-1, 2 parts sugar and 1 part water mixture. And then I have another supplement that I use in that as well. It's a supplement that's found on the market. The Hive Alive liquid supplement is what I use. Now, I will typically, as soon as my supers come off, I'm actually prepping all of my feeders now. I have bucket feeders, and then I have top feeders. I typically do not ever use entrance, the front feeders. Excuse me. I just, at least up here, those entrance feeders have, you're more prone to robbing. So I've always gone towards, one more frame. I've always been drawn to feeders that go inside of the colony. Let's get, now I gotta clean this. Let's set that there. Such a sticky job. Now, that said, my colonies, I typically, and I've got a couple apimae also, they will take several, look at this, if I can get that off. Look at that, that's just the top. So they will take several gallons when I get that feed on. Now, here, I'm just gonna do this. Wipe it on my glove. Now my extractor that I have over here, it's a 9-frame electric. Typically what I do with this, and I can, is we get it turned on and then it will spin. Now I typically, there's a bee there walking. Let's get her out of the way. There she goes. I typically start out slow. So this goes up to a level of 50. And I typically will go at about a level of 20 or so. We can see it spinning here. You want to make sure that the unit is balanced. This here seems to be okay. I typically will have to lean on the unit also. I don't have it bolted down, but I can already see there is some honey that's coming off of here. Now this unit here loads in with the frames angled out, so you do not have to flip the frames. I forget the name for that, whether it's tangential or whichever the name is, but you do not have to flip the frames with this, so that's very nice. Only thing you really have to watch with this unit is, well, is it balanced? And if it's not, then you really just got to be careful. I have the gate down here open and I have a filter down there. So let me see if I can. I'm going to throw a glove there and let's see. Well, she seems to be running pretty smooth. This machine here overall, this 9-frame extractor, it's on 35, so it's at 70% right now. And I mean, you see, it's just purring. So it's a really great unit. Let me open up my gate there. Oh my gosh, look at that! Look at that, man. This is what you get excited about. It's all the year's work. You come down to this. So, but just to back up, I mean, this, the honey is nice, but like I said, I never take out of my deeps. That is theirs. If I end up getting nothing out of the supers, I just get nothing. I would rather have my colonies live. And even when I do pull this honey off, you want to make sure they're weight. So, I've got top feeders that are going to go on, bucket feeders also on some of them. I'm switching over to bucket feeders in my apiary, just to make it easier. And I will, from this point now, this is beginning of October, I will keep those feeders on them until we get freezing weather, and that could be 6 weeks from now. So they'll have, a few weeks now really to bulk up and get to weight. And that's what you want. It's just so key, don't take too much. I know I recently spoke to somebody that did harvest from their deeps, and they were worried because they said their colonies were too light, and it's just always been a rule of mine that, you know, I have a certain husbandry to the bees, and I want them to live, and I don't want greed for this right here to overpower, you know, my wanting them to live. So I never touch the deeps, and I make sure they have weight, and I supplement. You know, it's just been a rule of mine. So now we're going to go up to 40 here, and you see this machine here. I did pretty good loading it. It's going down into this filter here. This is a 400 micron filter that I have sitting in the bucket, and recently switched to those. It's an upright one, and that will catch all the wax cappings and any bug parts if there is anything in there, and filter it out. And then you know, it's my honey's bucketed, so very easy. Up to 43, so 45, so we're at 90% power right now, and you can see the unit. I mean, overall, gosh, I loaded it pretty good, I guess, this time. So, and I'll typically run it, like I said, for about 10 minutes just to, you know, let those frames really empty, and hopefully we'll see that in a second, and then I'll just put them back in that tote over there. If weather permits, I'll typically set my frames out at, you know, a further location, and I'll let the bees clean them up. I feel they're the best. They do the best job cleaning that up. So it's purring pretty good. But I just want to say, you know, to Mary and all the others in the program, really enjoy the program. Really enjoy what you all are doing. So hopefully you enjoy these videos. They're not too boring. But, you know, that's my process. I typically go out and I look for those filled frames. What you can do also, and I have done this even though they're capped, sometimes it looks like the honey is a little bit too runny. So you can use a refractometer and just check to see that your you know, moisture content is adequate, you know, that it's below the threshold. I had some this year, earlier when I checked it, I was like 16.5, so it was pretty thick. But you know, that's about all I can say here for the extraction. Oh, we got a wobble, so I'll turn that down. I do want to bolt this machine down. Now, let me shut that down and let it slow up. And then I'm going to open this and we'll check a frame. Oh yeah, and you can see here, I mean, that machine does an excellent job. So I'm going to just set these back over into my Hive Butler tote. Yeah, excellent, excellent work. Gosh, look at that. You know, and by saving all that comb, you can see that the bees will not have to work as hard next time I put these on. That's why, gosh, look at that. Look at that beautiful comb. Excellent. That is beautiful. Oh my. Beekeepers get excited about the littlest of things. Shut that off. Yeah, look at that. Gosh. Really, I did start years ago with a manual, a hand crank extractor, and this one here really has made things easier. So, and I can close that up. My uncapping tank, oh, I had a frame back there that I'll set right there. My uncapping tank, what's beautiful about that is the wax capping's in there, and there's a filter in the bottom so that can strain out as well. So that's my video on my honey extraction. Really happy that I was able to get what I did out of there. I prefer fall honey. I love fall honey. So, and at this point here, typically I just tilt this forward and let the rest run out. But that's it. So again, this is Brian Koper, my honey extraction video for the advanced level of the University of Florida Master Beekeeper program. Appreciate you watching this and appreciate your feedback. So thank you.